So I actually quit my job yesterday, and I literally quit because I had an emotional breakdown. Like, I literally quit because I really hated my life. Like, I really did. Like, the amount of emotional abuse I endured while working at a bar was just crazy. I never could have even imagined that working at a neighborhood or bar would be that abusive. So now I'm on a job hunt because I don't have work, but I did, make sure I saved my money. Um, I have a lot to say about it, but it's kind of hard to really get into it. Um, I felt like the point where I was just breaking of I was just staring at the wall of my bar and I was like, what am I doing? I was like, my safety has been compromised. I've been disrespected and I've been sacrificing myself. There was days that I would go home with my voice just completely lost, and I gained 30 pounds over the course of 3 years because I wasn't able to take care of myself. And that was a new low because I looked in the mirror and I really couldn't recognize myself. I couldn't recognize exactly who I was. And then I was like, okay, so if I quit, what's the worst that could happen? Maybe I struggle to find a new job for a little bit. Maybe I get a job right away. And to be real with you, I full blown started having suicidal thoughts, and I hadn't had suicidal thoughts since I was a kid. And I was just kind of like, no, this isn't even chill anymore. I was like, I can't even pretend. So that's kind of why I look like crap right now. Honestly, some of my regulars were super helpful. A couple of them gave me money so I'd be good. And I really didn't even expect that because my expectations are low down on the ground because of my abandonment issues. I don't expect much because of my abandonment issues. When people were helping me, I was like, this is actually the craziest thing ever. My best friend was super supportive. We went to Chinatown and we were just chilling. And I was literally sitting on the curb just crying. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, nah, it was the most down bad energy ever. But I had to do something. I had to jump because I was like, the only way I could change my reality is by actually quitting and opening up my mind to new opportunities, or else I'll always be stuck in a place. And I was like, let me unleash my shackles. And I'm like, when you're literally depressed, you gain weight or you lose it. And I gained weight, and me keeping on my weight is very important to me. So yeah, I kind of just feel like staying in my room and crying all day. But I am struggling to sleep. I'm struggling to sleep because my reality is still setting in. And also I'm somebody who just wakes up early, period, because in my mind, I do have FOMO, like the fear of missing out. I feel like if I don't wake up early, I'm like not reaching my full potential. So I figured if I wake up early, I could at least get ahead of the game. Yeah. Um, I know this is kind of like a cliche quote, but it's one of my favorites. I don't know. It's of course it's from Silver Lining Playbook's like one of the most basic movies I could bring up, but what he said was so relatable to me because I was like, it feels like in a week, so much shit happens that like you're like, I'm just gonna read the quote. It says, "The world will break your heart 10 ways to Sunday. That's guaranteed." And I can't begin to explain that or the craziness inside myself and everybody else. But guess what? Sunday's my favorite day again. I don't know if I reached the point where I can appreciate a Sunday because at the bar I used to work Friday and Saturday, Monday and Tuesday. And on Sunday I would just be so exhausted. I would be so exhausted from like literally having to like kick people out of my bar, having to deal with rumors about me that just weren't true. And my ex had moved on top of my bar, and that was a new low point because I was like, yeah, no. It feels like when a man is like looking down at you. And then he was watching me, I realized more than I understood. I always knew that he was kind of watching me, but it started to feel very stalkerish. And that's how I knew I had to go. And I was like, going back to what I was saying, I couldn't change my reality at the point because all I was seeing was that fucking bar. Like, I was like, no, this Sunday has to go. And it was me that had to go. I had to go. And, you know, my cheeks are really chubby at this point in my life. I hate it. And I literally just laid down in my bed from pure exhaustion. And another thing that bothered me is I felt like I was getting underpaid because I would do marketing. I would have to do a lot of people pleasing because some of my regulars, I really like them as individuals. So I would like come and maybe celebrate their birthdays like on my day off. And I don't regret that because they're really nice individuals that have looked out for me. And I really appreciate all the money that they poured into me. And I wanted to show my appreciation back. So I don't regret any of that. Yeah, I was explaining to people that like I'm just literally not happy. So I was like, let me sit down until I figure that out. Because I don't know, I feel like I was so screwed over this year. And I had to stop the background noise. But another one that really got me, like as a kid, I used to watch a lot of One Tree Hill. Like that was my show. And I remember Peyton was talking to like, I think his name was Clay. And she was like, you know how in dreams you're always trying to get somewhere? And you never really reach the point in your dream where you get what you want. And then Clay responded and he was like, I think he said something like, yeah. And then she was like, yeah, I just wish I could wake up. I spent so much fucking time dreaming about what the future could be that I was just like, is there going to be a point where I reach a destination? And that's when I gave up. I was just kind of like, I don't know what reality I'm trying to attach myself to. Like, I was like, this is really fucking dumb. Like, like, what are you doing? Like, you're being dumb. Just wake up and just like stop fucking dreaming. Like, literally, that's where I got to, and that's why I said I was having really dark thoughts. And then, like, also Megan Thee Stallion, I was like, when she said, yes, I'm very depressed, that's probably why I always end up drinking. I would only drink while in the bar atmosphere because I'm not a drinker at home. I have literally gallons of alcohol in my room that I've never touched because I just have so much to do with my time, like work out, make clothes. Like, that's just not me. Like, that's just not my genetic code. And also, don't even get me started with the eating disorder, the disordered eating. Just